from the Ticats Audio Network. This is Ticats Today with Louis Butko.
Yes, it is Ticats Today for a Friday, November the 18th, 2022. Thanks for checking us out on the Ticats Audio Network as we have our final show ahead of the 109th Grey Cup right here, right now. Thanks for tuning in wherever you found us on the Ticats Audio Network. Louis Butko here with you, and appreciate you staying with us all throughout the week as we get you set for Sunday's game between the Argos and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Busy night last night in Saskatchewan as the CFL announced their 2022 CFL award winners. And just to run through them quickly here, the most outstanding player was Zach Collaros from the Bombers. The most outstanding defensive player was Lorenzo Malden IV. Most outstanding Canadian was Nathan Rourke. Most outstanding offensive lineman, this was the award that Brandon Revenberg was up for, but it went to Stanley Bryant once again. Most outstanding special teams player was Mario Alford from the Rough Riders. Most outstanding rookie was Dalton Schoen, and Mike O'Shea won the Coach of the Year award, and that all happened last night at the CFL Awards. Before the awards, we talked to Andy Fantuz, and we'll hear that conversation coming up in just a little bit. Also, coming up on today's show, we'll head to Regina as we check in with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers play-by-play voice, Derek Taylor. And Will Kay is going to be by. He's the Associate Vice President of Ticketing and Hospitality, because Grey Cup tickets 2023 are now on sale. Yeah, you can get your 2023 Grey Cup tickets by getting your 2023 season seats, which are now available. You can go to ticats.ca. It guarantees your access to the Grey Cup. And they've also got this cool new thing. It's called the Home Field Advantage. It comes with 30% savings on Grey Cup tickets. First access to your seats. It's part of an interest-free monthly payment plan. There's additional benefits as well. So we'll go through all of that with Will Kay. Again, the Associate Vice President of Ticketing and Hospitality for the Ticats and the 2023 Grey Cup coming up in just a little bit. All right, right now, though, let's head to Regina, Saskatchewan, where we find the play-by-play voice of the Blue Bombers. That is Derek Taylor. And DT, I would say you're their good luck charm. Your first year on the call in Winnipeg, and they're going to the Grey Cup. But I still think, Bob Irving got him there last year, so it's still Bob Irving's title.
Yeah, that's fair. Bob deserves a lot of titles. I just want to point out, I don't often brag about this because that's a great stat. The teams I call games for are 22-10, 37-13 in the regular season, I believe it is. So Bo Levi Mitchell-like record as a broadcaster in the regular season. Let's just give it up for me. Come on.
But okay, you brought up Bo Levi. I'll give it up for you. Here we go. You brought up Bo Levi. Before we get to Sunday's game, you're a CFL enthusiast. What was your initial reaction to that news on Monday? Ticats trying to steal the headlines to start Grey Cup week with the big splash. I'm sure it's the talk of the town, but just your initial reaction to that trade.
Can't believe it happened so fast was the first one. I don't know when I expected a Mitchell trade to happen, but I was shocked that it was on Monday and so fast. Two, I thought, beautiful. Hamilton could use a quarterback like Bo. I was off the Bo train for a couple of years because 19 injured and down, 21 injured and down. I didn't expect much from him in 22, but to me, he was good in a system that wanted to be something different. So I look at that and I go, oh, if a team wants to move the ball downfield, a team has, say, Stephen Dunbar and Tim White and Braylon Addison and on and on and on, that'd be a great place for him to land. So I think if the offensive components that they have, the offensive line, you and I have talked about, they acquired David Beard during the season. There's some spots in that offensive line to go, oh yeah, this offense could rock, and Bo could get back to hammer the ball deep down the middle of the field and being one of the deepest passing quarterbacks in the league. So I love it from Hamilton's perspective. Fingers crossed the deal can get done and Bo can get back to ripping it up.
I think the one thing that always jumps out to me is Bo Levi. People have asked me a lot this week is that, well, do you think Bo still has something in the tank? Easy to forget that Bo's actually 2 years younger than the guy who just won his second straight MOP last night in Zach Collaros, who's 34, Bo's 32. Let's go to Zach Collaros. Obviously well-deserved. What's the level of concern for Blue Bombers fans for Sunday?
Still, I would think orange. Like
Okay.
red is like get out of you can't camp here because fire is going to rip through you. It's still pretty high. Like
Yeah.
so, for folks who didn't catch it, they had the traditional Grey Cup availability yesterday. Kalaris is out there, and just 24 media are waiting to see him. He said, "I didn't practice today." Talking about yesterday, he said, "I will practice on Friday, and I will play on Sunday." And I asked Coach O'Shea, and I didn't even get the words out of my mouth, and said, "He'll practice and he'll play." And we went, "Excellent. But I'll believe it when I see it." Right. And it's nothing about doubting those guys, but it's just Zach Collaros is so important that even the narrator who's writing this whole story coming down to go, no, it's fine. Yeah, he's gonna play. Okay, I still need to see it. So they practice on Friday afternoon. We'll get a chance to see Kalaris because so much of his game is going to require explosion off that back foot, every throw, every scramble when he's under pressure from Jagarrett Davis off the edge. He's going to have to drive and get out of the pocket because that's where he's absolutely a Viking, right? So I'm still in the I'll believe it when I see it. I have no doubt that he'll do everything possible to play. Pain kill it, cut it off, whatever. He'll play on a bloody stump because that's what football players will be like during the Grey Cup. But I'm still projecting my nervousness, and when I get on the radio, I'll try to hold it back. But between us guys, I'm still quite nervous about it.
Yeah, and I mean, I get the argument that he doesn't need to practice this week. I mean, he knows the system. You need to get the backup ready to know it. You need him to get the first team reps. Zach doesn't really need those. But until you see it, you're still going to be wondering about it. Let's talk about the running back matchup because obviously that's a huge topic with Andrew Harris going up against Oliveira. How do you see that playing out? Do you give the edge to one side or the other? I mean, this is teacher, mentee, however you want to look at it, but two guys who have lots of local connections going head to head in the biggest game.
Yeah, and that's a super cool story, right? Andrew Harris and Brady Oliveira and Nick Dembski all went to the same high school in Winnipeg, and they all stay in touch in some level. Dembski and Harris both said, "Oh yeah, we talked about we should go out for a steak this week, and we've been in contact." Like they're legit really good friends. So it's super neat on that front. I think Toronto is going to be more committed to the run. I think Winnipeg, even with the performance from Oliveira in the line in last week's game in the Western Final, they're more will run if it works at the time, right? They went through the first 6 games of the year where Brady would get hit behind the line of scrimmage 30% of the time, which is totally unsustainable. That's now eased back, but he still doesn't get a ton of yards before contact. They're just able to do a little more. Conversely, Toronto has two mouths they absolutely have to feed. Like I get Harris is back, but AJ Ouellette is a very entertaining runner. Ticats fans probably played in all 4 games against the Ticats. That dude will run through walls. He's going full speed through. Oh, there's this car in my way. I'm going to run through the passenger door, out the driver door, and keep going. Like that cat runs hard. He is very entertaining. And to me, you need to feed that. And it's not even the weather. It's just I want that energy level in my offense. So I think Toronto will be more committed to it. I think Winnipeg will go, well, if Zach needs some help and the passing offense needs some help, let's go to it and let's keep it in the keep that club in the bag for the fourth quarter if we're leading. So yeah, that's how I kind of feel it is. I'm super excited to see Andrew Harris is such a fun player, right? Mm-hmm. Is he and AJ get yards after contact, both very well, but both in different ways. Andrew spins and slides off dudes and then eventually feels like he should drop a hammer on somebody. AJ's just full speed down the tunnel and just looking to leave bodies behind. It's that the run games for both are going to be a lot of fun.
I want to get your thoughts on a couple of guys who used to wear Ticats jerseys. Alden Darby Jr., of course, who signed with the Ticats in the offseason, was traded back to Winnipeg. And Des Lawrence, who was the Ticats Rookie of the Year in 2021, which is I think sometimes people forget that. He was the team's nominee for Rookie of the Year. Didn't see the field at all with the Ticats this season. Now playing a crucial role for the Bombers through these playoffs. That side of the football field with those two former Ticats, a big part of Sunday, won't it be?
Yeah, Desmond Lawrence, the field corner, and Darby is the dime defensive back. There was kind of a sentiment. Desmond played one game. He played the second last game against BC, and there was a sentiment kind of floating around the internet that send him back. He's no good. And I couldn't kind of process that. He got targeted 6 times in that game. Dominic Rhymes, as I think of his name. Dominic Rhymes, the BC Lions star, jumped over in the end zone and ripped down a touchdown on one of those plays. But Ticats receivers were 2 for 6 in that game, targeting Desmond Lawrence. And Lawrence had 4 pass breakups. And as I interviewed him yesterday, I said, you had 4 pass breakups in one game, which made you 5th on the team for the entire 18-game season. 4 pass breakups in one game. And then, oh, by the way, in the Western Final, they targeted with Dominic Rhymes again, pass breakup, and then the interception that killed that drive late in the game. Lawrence has been really good. Like in man coverage, in those jump ball situations, you think Dominic Rhymes is climbing over me? No chance. Breaks up one in the end zone. He's been really good in a spot that's been very unstable through injury and through early season releases for the Bombers. So I think they're very comfortable there. Alden Darby comes in after 16 games. Rookie Donald Rutledge. To me, it just seems like a guy that the Bombers are very comfortable with. He communicates to everybody. He communicates very well, and he can process and lock down things. So on that side of the field, you have Alden Darby, veteran. You have Jamal Parker, rookie, and you have Desmond Lawrence, second-year guy. I think they feel like Darby ties that all together with the rest of the back, with the rest of the front. That he's a very important piece, I think, to the Bombers and to Richie Hall's defense.
What is going to be the difference for the team that will be holding that Grey Cup trophy on the frozen tundra of Mosaic come 9 p.m. on Sunday?
I think Winnipeg's offense can get off against Toronto's defense. Toronto's defense is good from the front to the backers to that back six. It's nice, but I think Winnipeg's offense, if Zach is 60% or better, can get off and get to the end zone, because I mean the Bombers receiving core is at full strength with 9 touchdown Rashid Bailey, 16 touchdown rookie of the year Dalton Schoen, Greg Ellingson, perhaps I think the most yards per game of any player this season on average, and Drew Wolotarski and Nick Dembski with as many touchdowns in a year as he's had in any 3 years combined. So I'm not particularly concerned about Winnipeg's offense getting off. It's a matter of Toronto's offense and what can they do against Winnipeg's defense. Brandon Banks looked spectacular in that Eastern Final, making tough catches off his feet and making other ones that the officials, in my mind, ruled wrong. Toronto's got some weapons, but they're inconsistent weapons at the best of times. DeVars Daniels had a game where he just could not find a long ball to save his life as it just whips through his hands. Markeith Ambles is a guy I like a lot. Curly Gittins, spectacular year. And there are spots that can be exploited in the Winnipeg Blue Bombers back six. I think of the troubles Winston Rose has had with double moves this season. Keandre Smith whipped by him in that game in Hamilton. I like Jamal Parker a ton, and he is super aggressive at that field halfback spot. He is 5'8", 175, and teams are going to go after that. Whether they should or not, I think he may prove to them that maybe you shouldn't, but they're going to try that on that field side. So there's a couple of spots that have, one, certainly potential to be gotten, and 2, teams are going to try to get it. If Toronto can hit those, then it's going to be good for them. But Toronto scored 2 points in a game against Calgary like 7 weeks ago, whatever that was.
Yeah.
There's no guarantee that they bring their offense on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, inconsistent would be the word that someone would pin to the Argos this season, but they are in the dance, and as we know, you just got to get in. And we were in Ottawa when they beat Calgary in a game that maybe Calgary should have had a lot earlier. So enjoy the game this weekend. Stay warm, Derek. Thank you so much for doing this. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Louis.
And my thanks to Derek Taylor, the play-by-play voice of the Blue Bombers, for joining me on today's show. Yesterday, before the CFL Awards, right after he landed, I had a chance to catch up with Ticats Audio Network Analyst Andy Fantuz, a former Ticat, of course, a former Saskatchewan Rough Rider as well. We like to remember him in the black and gold. And just a fun fact, yesterday was 9 years to the date that the Ticats won the 2013, that would make sense. 2013 was 9 years ago. That they won the 2013 East Final against the Toronto Argonauts in Toronto. I was at that game. watching Andy Fantuz haul in a pair of touchdown passes from Henry Burris in that game. But anyway, we talked about that. We talked about a lot as we caught up with Andy Fantuz. But first, we just talked about the Grey Cup being back in Saskatchewan.
Oh, there sure is. I just got in today, but it's been pretty awesome since I got here. Of course, there's fans from all over the country, all the different teams here. I just love the Grey Cup so much. We were at the airport in Toronto this morning, and the flight attendant the attendant said, we're now boarding zone 1, and anyone wearing a Toronto Argos shirt is allowed to board as well. And then we got on the plane, and the dance and cheer team for the Ticats were there. And so Emily was up at the front and got on the mic and did a bit of Goski Wee Wee with the whole plane before we even took off. Wow. And yeah, I mean, I just had I had a drink with a couple, like a Calgary fan and a Ottawa fan and a Winnipeg fan already. And so it's just been a lot of fun, and I can't wait to see what else the weekend holds. It's going to be, pretty good weather considering Saskatchewan. And even though riders aren't in it, like Riderville is going to be bumping I had a nice lady, Gwen, bring me from the airport, and she was telling me that she was at the kickoff party and it was like off the chain last night. So things are already fired up. So I'm about to get ready. You can see I got my gear on. I'm going to head to the awards here in a few minutes and then go from there.
Yeah, I mean, I know how much fun we had last year. Unfortunately, couldn't make it this year, but back in Hamilton in 2023, as we've been talking about all show here too. But man, it was 9 years ago today that you guys went into the Rogers Center as the Hamilton Tiger Cats and escaped with a big win. You yourself putting up 2 touchdowns. I bring that up because I believe Brandon Banks was on that team. And now here you got Brandon Banks 9 years later, still chasing that first Grey Cup. You know Speedy B well. How much do you think it would mean for him to finish out this season with the Grey Cup?
Yeah, it's been that elusive part of his career that he hasn't been able to accomplish yet. I mean, I think that goes with a lot of people in Hamilton, but Speedy himself, he's accomplished everything. I mean, he was the most outstanding special teams player of the league. He was the most outstanding player of the league. He's been a fan favorite in Hamilton for years, gives back to the community, and now moving over to the Argos and getting a chance to win it. He's gonna obviously leave it all out there. He almost made that play in 2014 to seal the victory for the Ticats in BC against Calgary. That got called back, unfortunately. And I expect him to be involved and make a few spark plays for that team because they're going to need some outstanding performances, and I think he's one of those guys who can give them that lift.
Another guy on the other side, Zach Caleros, didn't practice again today, did speak at media day and says, he's ready to go. I revert back to things Coach said during the year, Coach O, when he said, our number 1 quarterback doesn't need to take first team reps because he knows it. Our number 2 guy probably should take some first team reps just in case. Are you in the mindset that Zach Caleros doesn't need to see a single snap at practice this week to be ready for Sunday?
I don't think he does. I think he's got that. He's the ultimate professional. He even in his early days in Toronto and then Hamilton, he studied more than anyone. He knew the film inside and out. He's the epitome of taking mental reps. So I fully expect him to be playing unless he has to be carted off. He's just got that kind of competitiveness and toughness to him. But I don't necessarily think he needs those physical reps because he'll be dialed in completely mentally when other quarterbacks are taking the reps in practice. So I think he'll get his work in, his visualization in, and that'll be sufficient for him to go out there and start.
The last time we saw the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in person was that beatdown that the Ticats handed them. They're a very different team. We know the Argos. We saw a lot of the Argos, not since Labor Day, though. What do you think this game is going to come down to on Sunday?
Well, you know, it's one of those things where it all comes down to one game and anything can happen. I mean, you saw under, on paper, an undermatched Toronto team beat the Calgary Stampeders in Ottawa and in that snowstorm a few years ago. And this has the makings of a similar setup where Winnipeg's going to be the heavily favored team. They're more built to handle weather conditions, this type of cold, gritty game. Toronto's going to have to play outstanding on all three phases and not let any big special teams plays or big fumbles, pick sixes, those type of plays. They're going to need some of those and definitely avoid going against those, because I think Winnipeg is just a stronger team all around, and they can afford to make more mistakes and still win the game. So I kind of like cheering the underdog, but I reluctantly have to say I think Winnipeg is the stronger team and will end up winning.
I was just trying to get you to say we're in the turnover battle, Andy. That's what I was looking for, man.
Well, I kind of said it in a roundabout way. Like fumbles, the picks, sacks, all that stuff is going to come into play here, and you saw what happened last week. I mean, BC certainly played well enough on defense to win that game, and they didn't get anything going offensively consistently against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. And then when they started to get a rhythm, what do you get? You get a special teams touchdown, and that's just completely deflating. So, and Winnipeg's offensive weapons, look to be a bit stronger than what Toronto has. But they like Curly Gittins Jr., I can't wait to watch him play. He's one of the best Canadians in this league in a while. And I don't know if he's going to win tonight or not, but good luck to him. He's having a hell of a career so far, and I can't wait to see him grow. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do tomorrow. And he's going against another good Canadian, Nick Dempsey on the other side at the receiver position anyway. So a lot of intriguing matchups. And but yeah.
I mean, the Curly Gittins, I mean, we were talking about that with Mike Hogan yesterday. Just another one of those great players demonstrating what the OUA has been able to put out. You think of Keandre and Tyler and guys who have come up through the OUA. Speaking of which, I know your Western Mustangs have a big game. They pulled out a big win in the Yates Cup last week. But before we let you go, man, you and Sim are working on something pretty cool. It's called Sim Takes Twos. Tell us a little bit more about it.
Yeah, so we came up with this idea. Simone approached me. He's like, man, we got to do this, bring something very unique and competitive and entertaining for the young athletes in this area. And he had this idea of let's do a one-on-one competition. So like receivers against DBs, linebackers against running backs, and just straight up competition, because that's the best way to learn and to grow and to be showcased. So we started it. And our first one is next Friday. It's in Milton in the Halton area at the St. Francis bubble. And yeah, we're just trying to get all the competitive athletes from the surrounding areas to come and compete against each other in the ultimate competition, just one-on-ones. And it's going to be hype. We got a live DJ, Simone's going to be amping everybody up, and he's going to be the head coach of the defense. I'll be the head coach of the offense, and we'll have other pro coaches there as well. So it's something that if I was a kid, when I was that age, I would have loved to do something like this and put me on the map or give me a chance to see where I stand against the best of the best, or kids from other schools or other regions that you don't get to play against in your regular football league. So I think it's going to be really awesome, and we're planning on continuing it all year round, and hopefully have like a big championship next year at the Grey Cup in Hamilton.
Yeah, it's a really cool. I love what you're doing with the wristbands, that like the individual competition of it all, and you're going head to head. And I'm sure these are competitions, you and Sim. I mean, those date back to what, 2014, when you guys were first playing together in Hamilton. I mean, you guys are competitive in Monopoly. Of course, this is going to be you versus him.
Yeah, of course. We would. This goes back to my Western days. You mentioned that earlier. I would go out before practice and do one-on-ones against linebackers, against DBs, against safeties, because they're all. You're always trying to. the more you can go in this type of competition against people, the more you're going to learn and the more you're going to grow. I never took that for granted, getting those kind of reps. And me and Sim would guard me, and we put wagers on it, and we get people hyped, and we'd have some of our teammates go against, some of my receivers my teammates go against some of the defense, and make it a competition. And it's so much fun and also beneficial. So it's a very unique opportunity. And yeah, you're talking about the wristbands, like everyone's going to get a couple wristbands. And if you lose a one-on-one, you lose the wristband. The other person takes it. And once you're out of wristbands, you're done. So it's no participation. It's just straight up competition, but we will have an hour and a bit of coaching beforehand. So regardless, everyone's going to learn a lot and have a great time and get a nice t-shirt and all that. So it'll be great.
Real quick, is there going to be a ping pong table there too? Because I know you and Sim can get pretty heated when it comes to the old paddles there.
No ping pong this time around. But
next time.
Yeah, just look us up on Instagram and send us a message if you're interested. And either one of us, Simone or myself, Sim_Hove21 or A Fantuz on Instagram, and send a message or tweet out at Simone. And that's probably the best way to get in touch if you haven't seen the flyer already.
Awesome. Well, man, I know you're at Grey Cup. I know every minute of Grey Cup week is valuable. So I appreciate you spending some of your time here with me, man. Thanks.
Happy to do it, Louis, and look forward to next Grey Cup in Hamilton. But it'll be a good weekend. Just getting started.
Awesome. And my thanks to Andy Fantuz, Ticats Audio Network Analyst, for joining me. Before going out to the CFL Awards, we actually had that conversation last night. So my thanks to him again for making some time, because as we know, or as I know from last year, there's a lot going on during Grey Cup week, and it's hard to keep track, and it's hard to schedule these chats. So I appreciate everybody who checked in with me this week. And as we know, the Grey Cup is coming back to Hamilton in 2023 in less than 12 months. Yeah, that's right, as we get set for that. And tickets for the Grey Cup are now on sale. And for more information on that, we check in with Will Kay. He's the Associate Vice President of Ticketing and Hospitality for the Ticats and the 2023 Grey Cup Hamilton. And Will, obviously this is an exciting day with tickets now officially on sale.
Yeah, absolutely. Really, really exciting day for the fans. This officially turns the page on the 2022 season. Renewals opened up a couple weeks ago. A lot of excitement around that. Great start, but absolutely, today's the official kind of launch where season seat holders renewal, and if you're looking to purchase new for next season and get on board and try things out, officially can book your Grey Cup ticket with that package as well.
Now, something pretty cool that you guys are doing, it's the Home Field Advantage member. It's a way you can save on your tickets. It's a way you can spread it out. Tell us a little bit more about this.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a program actually we introduced a few years ago when we were first initially awarded the bid in 2019 for the 2021 game. Obviously some hiccups along the way there, to say the least, but we've continued the program. So it's a monthly membership program that's continuous, allows fans to kind of spread out their payments over the longest period of time possible, commit to the season, understand our intentions from our end, their intentions, and with that, you're going to have the highest savings on Grey Cup. So in 2021, you had a 25% savings on average. And this year we've been able to offer and work with the CFL to go up to 30%. So very, very significant savings for our season seat holders. So we're happy to continue to provide that.
So now that price, that interest-free payment that's coming out the first of the month, that includes my season seats and my Grey Cup tickets.
Yeah, it does. Absolutely. So we can work with our account representatives and our membership team here to find an option that's going to work best. We do understand the commitment to both the Ticats and the Grey Cup from the financial standpoint. So we're trying to kind of break down some of those barriers on that. And once we get the renewal commitment for 2023, our Grey Cup plan that we've set up here actually extends all the way into next season, into the summer of 2023. So our most important thing, Louis, we want every fan that we have as a season seat holder to be able to sit in their same spot, have that opportunity to be there, but understand we just need to know the intentions. So small deposit, speak with our representatives, sign up online with what makes the most sense in your particular situation. And we got a lot of options for that.
You talk about that 30% savings on Grey Cup tickets, but there's also a ton of other benefits that come with becoming a Home Field Advantage membership. What else are you part of this?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, I think the main one is that we can extend your payment plan over an extended period of time that's a lot longer than our traditional renewal window. And really just the ease and efficiency to know that you have your same Ticat location for us at the best continued price and the highest Grey Cup savings, right? Like lots of things going on, but the understanding of that you want to be a Ticat season seat holder in that same great spot that you sit at Tim Hortons Field. It's yours until you tell us otherwise. And we're going to commit to that if you commit to us. And it's been a great program for us, again, going into 2021. And we've continued another iteration of it, being very fortunate to welcome the Grey Cup back after just one short season here.
Speaking of the Grey Cup coming back, we obviously remember last year, COVID was still such a huge part of our lives in 2021. And there were some things that you guys did really well, but things you couldn't do just because of COVID. 2023, what have the plans been looking like? I know you've been talking about this for years, but now 1 year out, it's getting close. How are you feeling?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're excited for the fans, excited for the city, the organization, the players. We will extend the size of the building for this event. We weren't able to do that in 2021, given the circumstances. So lots of great things planned that we'll continue to unveil over the course of the off season of what that building and the Grey Cup configuration is going to look like. But really excited for just the city. I mean, we were able to do some great things under the circumstances that we were dealing with. Everyone that came and joined us had a great time at these festival events, but we weren't really able to put on the true festival that we want to. And what the city and frankly the CFL deserves. There were some travel restrictions, so I don't think we welcomed as many out-of-town guests as we will for 2023. So yeah, really excited to kind of have the full Grey Cup week, which is going on right now in Regina, and all the events surrounding it, and the fanfare, and really showcase the city. I think our fans want to do that, right? They're proud of Tim Hortons Field, they're proud of the city, and it's going to be a great event to be able to do things the way we originally wanted to.
If someone wants more information on the season seat membership, the great thing about working in those offices is there's real people who are ready to help. How can people get more info on either Grey Cup tickets or season seat memberships?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what we want to do. Want to have conversations, want to understand what's going to be the best fit for our current fans, as well as anyone that's interested. So always call the office. So 905-547-CATS. You're going to get a voice. You're going to speak with me or another team member. That's what we're here for. But we are live online as well now too. At Ticats.ca has all initial information, including season seat holder pricing, which is visible right now online to best understand what we're looking at and the excitement around the game.
Lots of excitement around the game. Will, appreciate you checking in with us. And I know you got a lot of work. It's 12 months, but those 12 months are going to come fast for the 2023 Grey Cup.
Totally, man. Yeah, appreciate the time, and thanks to all the fans out there for making this fun, and we're looking forward to 2023.
And that is the Ticats Associate Vice President of Ticketing and Hospitality, Will Kay, as he joined us to talk about Grey Cup tickets going on sale. And yeah, lots of exciting stuff going on with that, with the Home Field Advantage membership, where tickets for the 2023 Grey Cup start at just $99. So Ticats.ca. It's right on the banner is where you can find the tickets, and should be a lot of fun in Hamilton next year, just like I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun in Saskatchewan this weekend. If you're going, if you're there, have fun, stay safe. I don't know who you're cheering for, but enjoy the game. For all of us here at the Ticats Audio Network, we appreciate you checking us out. Thank you. I'm Louis Butko. Hope you have a great weekend.
Ticats Today can be heard every weekday, and we would like to hear from you. Email us at gameday@ticats.ca. Have a question or an opinion? We want to hear it. That's gameday@ticats.ca. Subscribe to the Ticats Audio Network on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts.